believes that Ontario's greatest strength is its people, and it's shown here tonight by you being here and by the 3 candidates, nominees that we have sitting at this table. We live in an increasingly global economy where our province is in competition with other jurisdictions from all over the world. We believe that when each and every Ontarian, regardless of where they were born, where in the province they live now, what their personal circumstances or beliefs are, when every Ontarian is at their best, we can compete with the world and win. And I'm going to introduce you to a young man who is the coordinator of this evening tonight, our Vice President James Borer, who is also the coordinator for this evening. James, the rest is up to you.
Okay, is that working well enough for the crowd? Just before we get started, a couple of housekeeping items. My background is as an instructor, so this is kind of an old habit for me. If you look over to the right, your right, you'll see an exit there. This side here, if there happens to be a fire, that's the safest way and quickest way to get outside. The washrooms are just outside the double doors there, and after we're done with the formal part tonight, there'll also be a social opportunity with the bar open at the back. Okay, so the McGuinty government has worked hard to create a province of opportunity, providing Ontario with the tools they need to succeed. This means access to the best possible education. It means access to the best possible health care in a world-class setting. And it means that each and every Ontarian takes pride in their heritage and traditions, regardless of where we're from. And that by embracing that diversity, we strengthen our province and we strengthen our economy. Here in Stormont, Dundas, and South Glengarry, the McGuinty government and our tireless MPP, Jim Brownell, have brought that vision to reality. Under Jim's leadership, we've had 3 hospital redevelopments, as you'll notice if you drive up McConnell, as you'll notice if you go to Winchester, and as you'll notice if you look at the healthcare center that's opened up on Pitt Street, and we could keep going. Support for our schools. You better than myself, because you live in different parts of the riding, will know how many new schools we've had built. You'll know the additions that have been made to the ones that exist. And then if you step inside of the schools, you'll see the infrastructure that's been introduced. More computers, smart boards, better ways to support students that have special needs. And I'll tell you, from a personal experience, that dedication, thank you, Jim, and the government under Mr. McGuinty's leadership that's brought to this province has benefited my family, because my children, who as little as 5 years ago would not be able to hear because they were born deaf. Jim got involved and helped change that with the government. And I'll tell you, if you're willing to take your issue or your need or your thought to Jim, he's there for you. And so is the government, because they listen. So, importantly, with a renewed sense of pride both locally and provincially, we can celebrate the great history of this region and the contributions of all who have settled here. Gentlemen, by choosing to seek the nomination to become the Liberal candidate for Stormont, Dundas, and South Glengarry in the next election, you've demonstrated your commitment to the values of the Liberal Party. You've committed to carry the torch that Jim has made burn so bright by ensuring our voice continues to be heard at Queen's Park. That's not a light undertaking. The next Liberal candidate will continue the strong tradition established by Jim of shining a spotlight on sd&Sg. That person will bring forward their own vision and ideas. This session provides an opportunity for us as members to hear from our nominees, to learn more about their vision for the future. We'll hear about their personal experience, what that vision is, and what their thoughts are on some of the most important issues facing our community. For tonight's event, we've chosen to focus on 3 key themes that are important to the people of Stormont, Dundas, and South Glengarry. Those 3 themes will be education in the 21st century, quality regional health care, and support and promotion for our local heritage and culture, which continues to grow as we add to it. So each nominee will have 5 minutes to come up and articulate why they are running and what their vision is. Following this, there will be one question posed to each candidate on each of these topics. While the candidates have been informed as to what the topics are, they were not given the questions until just before coming up on the stage. When the question is posed to the nominee, they'll have 4 minutes following that to discuss that topic with us. The order for answering the questions, it's about as fair as you can get. We put 3 names in a hat. Dianne drew out. We're going to start with Pat, Mr. Poirier. And then we'll go from Pat to Mark to Dennis. When we get through the formal part of tonight, it'll be an opportunity for the members that are in the room and for the media to be able to meet our nominees and talk to them one-on-one. So before we get started with the next step, I want to take a minute and thank you for being here, because it's through your participation in this event and as we move forward that we'll continue to show what those liberal values are, and we'll continue to support the person that becomes our candidate so that we ensure that we stay liberal in the writing and we keep supporting each other and we keep moving forward the way that Jim's provided that leadership over the last 7 years. So thank you, and now Dianne is going to come up and introduce our first topic, education in the 21st century.